It was a couple of days after the spring equinox. The goddess had now truly awakened, and mid-spring was here. I rang the bell of awakening, as I had done every morning the past month, to celebrate this time of growth and becoming. I looked to the nest I had created a couple of weeks back, remembering how it had brought me more appreciation of the birds and all the hard work they do in creating a safe and warm home for their children. The creation of a nest is no quick and easy task, and with the renewed energy and vitality I was feeling, I felt it was time to give back to the birds in gratitude of the lessons I'd learned from them. So today, I would be foraging raw materials to help the spring birds in their nest building. Of course, I knew it would also be another fun opportunity to take part in the nesting process. This was actually something I had originally planned for the day of the spring equinox. However, I was feeling quite overwhelmed with the energies in the air at the time, no doubt due to my Libra moon, and so I took the time for some much-needed self-care. Now fully renewed, it was time to appreciate the beauty of nature and help our chirpy feathered friends. At this time of spring, many of us are bagging and removing leaves from our garden, ready to physically plant more seeds. However, in doing so, we are actually removing many a bird's possible nesting material. Although birds are very capable of creating their unique nests without human help, many modern-day practices, such as removing dead trees, especially in towns or cities with its growing urban landscape, threaten their natural habitat and impact their nesting success. So my aim for the day was to collect and provide a variety of material for the birds to check out when building their nests. Different birds use different materials, so a variety would help many different species of birds. Some good baselines for nesting components are dead leaves, twigs, feathers, moss, lichen, pine needles, plant fluff or down, for example cattail fluff or cottonwood down, and also bark strips. Dry grass is also good, but not if it's been treated with pesticides or fertilizers. I took my time wandering through the woods, picking up items that I thought the birdies might like. There was so much beauty everywhere, and I knew that soon the dormant flowers would all bloom once again, and the grass would become a more luscious shade of green. Having collected quite a few items, I headed off home, on the way stopping by to greet my good friend Willow. I placed some of the materials I'd found into a little basket, breaking up some of the items into smaller pieces so they could be carried away more easily by the birds. and then went into my garden to hang it up. Birds are more attracted to clean, dry materials, so placing the items in a sheltered but visible location will have the best results. I originally wanted to also put out some biodegradable strips of jute string cut to around 1.5 inches for the birds. However, with further research, it would seem that yarn is no longer recommended to put out for birds, as they have been found to be unsafe, as even small pieces can become entangled around a bird's feet. Sometimes items provided by well-meaning people can pose risks to birds. What is potentially dangerous isn't always obvious to us humans, and so we should always be cautious when providing materials for our feathered friends. Other items that should not be put out include plastic strips, aluminium foil, cellophane, dryer lint, fishing line, tinsel, fabric scraps like felt or bits of cloth, pet fur or human hair. That's right, even seemingly innocuous materials like fur can tangle and entrap adult birds and nestlings. So it is always best to only provide natural materials. If one doesn't have a basket, fruit and vegetable boxes are also a good choice of container for the materials. Just make a couple of holes either side, tie some jute string, and it's good to go. One can also drape material over trees or shrubs, or push the items into tree crevices. However, one should never tie down the materials, just allow the birds to easily take them away. In addition to these materials, barn swallows, phoebes and robins use mud in the construction of their nests, and so I created a muddy puddle for them too. With that all done, I returned back inside to take a look at a new bird's house I had purchased the day before. I liked the colours of the house, green for earth and white for purity. I also liked the little heart hook on the back, which was a sweet touch. It was cute, but I wanted to make it more magical, and so I began designing, taking inspiration from a cuckoo clock we had in our home, adding squirrel energy and other magical symbols. I started off the creation by penciling in the inner circle symbols first, then created an outer circle clay piece that could be attached later on. I created a few more clay pieces and a broom made of willow branches and jute string. When painting the pieces, I chose subtle and natural colours like browns and greys to complement the green and resemble a bird's natural habitat. The clay piece was a perfect fit and snapped on easily without needing any glue. I screwed in a couple of eye hooks to the roof so I could attach the hat and broom to either side easily. I attached 3 pine cones on woven jute string to the bottom of the birdhouse, giving it the look of the weights and chains of a cuckoo clock. I then glued on the little grey squirrel. Putting out the nest materials had attracted more beautiful birds into my garden, and I so hoped some sweet little birdie would make this her loving home. I love the final outcome of this house. What a perfect magical tweet for my feathered friends. I eagerly went to hang it up. It's best to face boxes between north and east, as this will provide natural protection from direct sunlight and winds. It's also best not to add any nesting material inside a vacant birdhouse, as one cannot be certain what a bird would want to use. Birdhouses with nesting materials already included are actually often less attractive to bird families, as they may need to remove any additions before beginning their nest construction. For a little birdie, that is quite a bit of extra work, and understandably not something any of us would want. Hanging in my garden was also an old birdcage that was in need of some spring cleaning. It's best to clean birdhouses once a year to ensure the health of our feathered friends. The best time to clean would be October and November, when one can be sure the birds have finished using them. This particular cage, though, hasn't been cleaned for many years, and it's been a long time since a family has lived inside, so I was sure I wouldn't be disturbing anyone by cleaning it now. Generally, it is advised to remove any nests from inside, as most birds prefer a clean home to raise their young. However, there have been studies that show some species prefer to build on top of an old nest. This type of building does increase the risk of predators getting to the young birds inside though, as they will be in closer proximity to the entrance hole. One should wear a face mask and rubber gloves to protect oneself from the parasites and bacteria that may be inside the birdhouse. Having removed the nest, I scraped out the insides with a brush and slowly cleansed the cage with cleaning solution. I then rinsed the cage thoroughly with clean water. And let it sit in the sun to fully dry before finally hanging it up again. With the cage clean and hung in place, perhaps we'd see a new bird family move in this spring or summer. What a delight that would be.
The moon, she dances like the waves on the shore. making circles, making circles, like the waves on the shore.